Why are you holding the monster like that? It's like you're gonna bludgeon me to death with it. You're like getting ready.
It's made of like mesh.
Oh, you could do it. I don't. How doth thou fare, sweet Wheatons? Welcome to another episode of Wheat Queens. My name is Hailey.
And I'm Jolene.
And I'm Savannah.
Welcome to the week of February 9th to 15th. Thank you guys so much for the support you've given us so far, and thank you for coming back and giving us another listen.
We'd like to apologize for getting this episode out so late this week. We had midterms, as do all of you guys, and we couldn't find the time to get in the studio and record, so we're really sorry about that. This is the week of love.
Yes, you may have noticed. In my intro, I use my Shakespearean word. For it is the language of love we are speaking this fine week.
Isn't the language of love French? Bonjour, mon chéri.
Right, yeah, okay.
So we have a guest star on today.
Yeah!
You may have heard her name just briefly there. This is Savannah.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, just peachy. How are you?
Well, that sounded a little untruthful.
Savannah here is a second-year student at BU, obviously. And she is taking education and fine arts. So, as you guys may have noticed, that huge, hole missing in your calendar, or maybe you have a big heart around it, depends really on who you are. Valentine's Day is coming up here. So how are you spending your Valentine's Day? We're going to have a little poll out for you if you spend it with friends or if you spend it with a partner. Good on you. Not all of us are so fortunate. But yeah, we'll have a little poll out for you guys to do that. But how are you guys spending your Valentine's Day?
Well, I will be working, but that's fine because I am alone. Perhaps I'll spend some time with my good pal Jolene.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
You didn't accept the invitation, though?
Why'd you have to call me out like that?
I was just...
Why'd you have to point it out? I don't work on Valentine's Day. I work the days surrounding Valentine's Day, but I don't work actually on the day. And I will likely be spending it with my dogs.
I love that for you.
Thank you, I do too.
I will be working as well, which is also unfortunate. But, that's fine. That's fine, I guess. I gotta make money.
You and
somehow.
your boyfriend gonna do anything?
I don't know yet. We're bad.
Alright, so earlier this week, we put out a little question box for you guys. You could ask us any questions you want to know about, university dating. So here is a little mix of the questions you asked. So, are you single, in a relationship, or is it complicated? Start with Savannah.
Oh, so single. So tragically single.
Hailey?
Oh, I am in a relationship. We just celebrated our 4-year anniversary.
Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah, and he is lovely, and I love him so much.
I am also very, very single. Have you ever used online dating apps? What are your thoughts?
Yes, I have sunk down and resorted to using both Tinder and Bumble, and plenty of fish for about 24 hours, and then it was rough.
Yikes.
It was not fun. Tinder and Bumble aren't that great either. It's also Brandon, small town, not a lot of people around here.
Savannah's not from Brandon, so...
My bad, yes, I'm from Edmonton.
I've never used an online dating service.
You've been in a relationship since you were 15 years old.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of online dating. I've tried Tinder, when I say tried, there was more experiences than just the one here with Hailey, where I would create an account just to see who was on there, found some people I went to elementary school with, it was just too much. And I mean, I always deleted it, like maybe, like, an hour later. Like, I'd go on to see what's out there, and then I'd, like, delete it, because, like, I really wasn't about it. So, really sorry to anybody who, like, attempted to message me and then realized my account was gone. I know you're missing out. I'm kidding.
You know what's weird to me is how many men, like, on Tinder say, like, have pictures of them, like in their hunting gear, holding a fish. A fish or a dead animal. And I'm like, it's even a little weird if you have that as, like, one of your other pictures. But the amount of men that have it as their first photo that shows up on their profile.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's a Manitoba drinking game. You're supposed to, like, take a drink every single time you see a picture of a guy with a fish.
I don't think I'd ever be sober again.
Oh, you're holding up a bloody deer head.
We really weren't at that party.
I'm aroused. Like, I don't know what the
I don't get the purpose. It's really not that attractive.
I mean, I understand, like, so none of us are really, you know, big on the idea of hunting. But, like, I can understand how, like, some people, like, this is really something that they love. They really do like to hunt.
Then post a photo of you in your gear. You don't have to be holding an animal carcass as well.
Yeah, I think it's overkill.
Profile pictures, they're, you know, sometimes deceptive that way.
But I think it's also, like, a beautiful art form.
It really
see someone
is.
Create a profile.
They create a story through the pictures that they select.
You get to kind of see who someone is.
How do I accurately
unless
define myself?
Or not accurately.
Yes.
Oh?
Sometimes people use too many Snapchat filters. That is a don't.
Are you currently using dating apps?
No.
Unfortunately, yes. You know, I go back and forth and delete it and then re-download it and then delete it and then re-download it. You know, sometimes, multiple times within a day.
I'm currently not on dating apps at all. I'm busy. I'm a university student. I don't have time to be swiping through people's photos. You know? I've got essays.
Don't we all?
It's all about, like, what you want for your life.
Alright, so I'm gonna hit you all with this. What is your worst dating experience?
Right, so I got a little one for you. I don't have, like, a ton of dating experiences. I haven't been on a ton of dates, so, I mean, this isn't even really that bad. But maybe the worst is I had a date once when I was very much younger, and he, you know, it's like one of those, like, elementary school, like, middle school, junior high kind of dates. Like, he just came over to my house, and then he didn't leave for 8 hours. Yeah, he, like, you know, there was opportunity there to go. And he didn't take it.
Oh, man.
Made for some interesting stories. Needs to say I didn't date again for, like, years.
Yes, for sure. I also had an 8-hour date, much more recently. However, this one, I think it might be worse. The young fellow took it upon himself to spit in my mouth.
No.
Oh no. My God, no.
Yeah, I didn't ask, for the record, nor want to have.
How would you? Excuse me, good sir.
Please
do me
spit
the
in my
pleasure.
mouth.
I'm just salivating into my mouth.
Yeah, no, definitely not. He just did it.
He just went.
He just went for it, and I said, "Hey, let's not do that again." And guess what he did? He did it again.
No.
Yeah. Let's just say he only got a second date.
Wait, I gotta know. Like, were you guys like having a little kiss, and then he felt like he wanted to spit in your mouth, or was it like a very random? He just wanted to do it.
There was some smooching.
Okay.
Just a tad.
So he wasn't just, like, across the coffee table, just, like, open your mouth.
I'm gonna baby bird you this latte.
No, he did do that with water, though.
No!
This does get worse and worse.
It does. And then he asked me to baby bird him some water. When he asked for water, and I went to hand him the water bottle, he said, "No, I want some of yours."
Oh.
And I did it.
Oh, Savannah!
I'm sorry. I was confused.
Oh, you were confused.
I was confused.
What a good story. Oh, I cannot believe that. That's a literal... That's what people mean when they say man-child.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I wonder, did you guys, like, go out to eat or just, like, drink?
No, we went for coffee, actually. We both ordered the Moroccan mint tea from Coffee Culture.
Wow.
Yeah.
The date spot of Brandon.
Yeah.
Yes, I exclusively go for coffee. I don't do the bar for
So
drinks.
that's a very good idea. But honestly, like, people, like, they're gonna pick a coffee shop for a first date. It's gonna be Coffee Cultures. Like, it's not even Forbidden Flavors. It's Coffee Culture.
Forbidden Flavors is, like, nice, but Coffee Culture has, like,
A bougie
mood lighting.
feel.
It's the vibe.
Yeah.
It's got mood lighting.
It's got a vibe, yeah.
Who hasn't had a first date at Coffee Culture?
Not our first date. Not my first date.
You've had a date there?
Several. Of course. It's Brandon's date spot. Where do you go? And you're like, hey, babe, you want to go out for coffee? Yeah, let's go to Tinny's. No.
Trash.
Let's go to the Sobe Starbucks.
So romantic.
Wow.
Wow.
Let's
We
go
love
sit in the dairy
We
aisle.
love that for you.
The dairy aisle?
That's just the one I picked. Would you rather me said produce? Meats?
You know,
Pharmacy.
you could go grab a nice, like, romantic cupcake from the bakery
Oh.
and share it. You could each take a bite from each
That's
side.
actually a very cute date
For a
idea.
first
to
date?
just-
For a first, yeah.
Oh.
Share a cupcake in the produce aisle on the first date. At
Maybe not the
Sobeys.
best, like, first date. But
I
that
go-
would be a really wild date for this dude to be like, hey, let's go out somewhere, and you don't really know where you're going, and then he just takes you to the grocery store. It's a
Go
little
big or
weird.
go home.
It's a little weird.
Yeah,
It's a
for
little
sure.
fun. Let's just walk around the grocery store together. It's
Yeah.
cute. It's domestic.
It is kind of cute. My
Yeah.
parents go on, well, they call them dates all the time when they go grocery shopping. They're like, oh,
That
we're
is
on
so
a date.
That's
That
the
is
dream.
so cute. I want to... Oh. I didn't share my worst date experience.
No, you didn't.
So back when I was like 15, I had a massive crush on my best friend, and it was problematic. But then this other boy that I knew that was in like my math class with me, I guess mistook my friendly banter as flirtatious advances.
Oh no, this is him.
Yeah, he was so sweet. And the thing is, like, I was in Winnipeg at the time, so I wasn't even at home, but he walked all the way to my house.
All the way. He lives
He
a block
lived a
away.
couple blocks away, honestly, but he walked to my house, and he, like, knocked on the door, and my father answered, and he went, "Hi, is Hailey there?" And my dad was like, "No. May I ask why?" And this kid straight up just goes, "Oh, I would like to ask her out on a date." Which is just, it was very sweet. And then he called me on the phone, because my dad gave him my number, called me on the phone to ask me out on a date. And so I was shook up about it, but he was so nice. And there's literally, like, nothing wrong with him besides the fact that I didn't like him.
This is your worst dating story?
Yeah.
He sounds like such a sweet boy.
Well, it got very awkward.
Well, that's probably every first date ever.
Yeah, but, like, to the point where he's, like, a little just, like, there was nothing for us to talk about.
Yeah, he's like
And
kind of
he gets a little socially awkward to the point where I felt awkward, but I didn't really know how to, like, end the date.
Yes.
But we had gone to the mall. We went to the mall food court to eat, and my friend works at the Dairy Queen. And so I walked up to her, and we ordered blizzards. I don't like ice cream, but I ordered a blizzard anyway, as to not seem suspicious. And I asked her to text me and pretend to be my mom, asking me to come home immediately. And I changed her contact name in my phone to Mom, and then she messaged me like she was my mom, and I showed the boy, and I was like, I guess I gotta go home. And then I went home. And I told him the next day in math class that it probably wasn't going to work just because I think we're much better off as friends. And I just didn't want to hurt his feelings by dragging it out.
It just wasn't looking good. It's just not gonna work out.
No. I think he was upset about it, and it made me sad that I upset him, but sorry, bro.
Honestly, don't feel sorry for, like, being honest and saying, yeah, this isn't happening. You know, like, this just, we don't vibe.
I wouldn't feel sorry about it now that I'm, like, almost 20 years old. But I think, like, I felt kind of bad having to tell him, this poor little 15-year-old boy, who evidently liked me very much for some reason. And then he was, like, not the same with me afterwards, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
I hope he's well now.
I think he is. I don't know.
He moved away. I still talk to him.
Haley, you drove him out of town.
Oh my god.
Okay, so if that was your worst dating experience, what was your best?
Do you want to go first again?
I can, yeah. Again, like I've previously stated, I don't have a lot of dating experience. Like, we're talking under 10 dates in my lifetime. And, so I don't know that I really have, like, a best date experience. You know, they're all pretty benign.
I've had a couple good ones. There was one, I went back in Edmonton, where I'm from. There's the Mutart Conservatory, which is basically 4 big greenhouses that are differently themed. So there was one that was all orchids, and it was beautiful, and it had koi in a pond. There's one that's a rainforest one that's a desert, and it has a bunch of beautiful cacti. And I can't remember what the 4th one was, but it was very romantic to walk through there and take beautiful pictures.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, if anyone's ever out there, I'd recommend checking it out. It's not very expensive to go.
We definitely don't have anything like that. Maybe I could have had a good date experience if we'd gone someplace like that.
My dates range from, like, really fancy and bougie, like once a year, because we gotta save up money, or, like, startlingly domestic. Not startling in, like, a bad way. It's very cute. But I think, like, last Valentine's Day we went out to a fancy dinner place, and Max took me to go see the Royal Winnipeg Ballet do Romeo and Juliet, which is very sweet and romantic. But I think, honestly, one of the best kind of date nights we've had is, like, we often cook dinner together, and usually I'm cooking. But one night he asked if he could cook something and if I could help him. So I did what he calls the bitch work, which is usually what he does. It's just chopping vegetables, pretty much. It's just chopping stuff up. But I did that time, and he made me this really good chicken and rice with, like, a peanut sauce, and it was delicious, and we love it.
That sounds very good.
It was very good. And then we ate it on the couch together. We watched something, and it was really nice and just domestic and soft, and I liked it very much. And so I think some of the best, like, most romantic dates I have are just, like, really toned down ones.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. So thoughts on dating in university?
Thoughts on dating in university? I think we have different opinions on that. Hey, Jolene?
I think we're all really different on that, yeah. I mean, obviously, Hailey, you're in a relationship. You haven't gone a single moment in university without being in that relationship.
That's true.
So it really kind of just flows for you.
I am romantically privileged.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
And you, Savannah, like, you did start out university with a partner and have since, dissolved that relationship. And so you've kind of seen, like, it from multiple aspects, what it's like to be in university. Whereas I've literally been single this whole time. So don't worry, I'm not ashamed of it.
But yeah, thoughts on dating in university?
I think as long as you're able to do your schoolwork and get done what you need to get done, then I see no harm in it, and it can be very fun if the dates are good and you're being safe and hanging out with the right people.
And they don't spit in your mouth.
Yeah, when they don't spit in your mouth, I'd say dating in university is fantastic.
Yeah.
And
That's what the bar is really low, you guys. If you don't spit in our mouths,
You'll get a third date.
yeah.
I think, like, dating in university, it's, like, such a different game than dating in high school. I mean, you don't see people all the time. I find, like, myself personally, like, if I, like, were to, like, have established a relationship, like, out of school, like, when school's not in session, and then was in that relationship while school was in session, it might be, like, a little bit more of a smooth transition. Just, like, when I'm, like, in the semester, and I'm trying to get all that work done, all those papers written, you know, do all those tests and everything, I don't really feel like I have the time to go out and, like, actively look for someone. I mean, if somebody just happened to stumble on by, then maybe I consider it, but, like, I don't, like, feel like putting myself out there actively searching while I'm trying to do everything else. But, I mean, that's just me and how I organize my life. Obviously, that's not everyone.
That's fair. I don't find myself actually going out with that many people. There's just not time.
Exactly, yeah, just not really any time to do it.
I mean, like, it's definitely different because I'm already in a relationship, but it also 100% like shifts the dynamic of your relationship. Just because you're shifting as humans and as individuals, because you're entering adulthood and a new kind of scary sometimes space. And like my first year, Max wasn't in university. He had a full-time job, and even then my schedule was changing, and I think it maybe sometimes did like put a strain on us trying to like see each other and hang out, because sometimes it was all right, and then sometimes we like wouldn't be able to see each other for a bit. But now here and there we find little pockets of time, and it just, I think if you have a solid relationship, dating in university, it can become kind of a good thing, because then you can learn to compromise and really appreciate the time that you have with your partner, because maybe it's not as frequent.
You definitely learn a lot about time management.
Yes, for sure.
Heck yeah.
I just find, like in university, like, everything is so different. Like, I mean, how do you even meet people in university? How do you even meet people? In high school, you know, a lot of it is you're face-to-face with people, you take classes with people, you see the same people all the time. In university, it's very different. There are so many people there that you might never run into. And, I mean, this is, like, part of the reason, like, I have, like, you know, I'm not on dating apps really as much, is I just really, like, haven't found a way to sort of come to terms with going on dating apps. I've always been much more into, like, face-to-face interaction, but I find that people, like, you know, in today's age, if, you know, you're not on dating apps, then they take that as you're not interested, you're not looking, and so they don't really like to put themselves out there in person as much.
Yeah, I've definitely found that as well.
I mean, not for nothing, everybody that's ever asked me out, it was in person, but, like, we're taking a lot of side detours here, like, a lot of coworkers, so...
Never date a coworker.
I haven't.
Good. It's never a good idea.
You've dated a coworker?
I have dated a coworker.
This is how she knows it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, after things ended, he didn't show up to work for a week.
Oh.
His poor little 16-year-old heart was broken, and I feel a little bad about it.
You drove him out of the Home Depot.
It wasn't
a
actually.
restaurant.
No, it wasn't. It was we
Swimming?
were coaches together. Yeah, so we had known each other for like 5 years. We competed together, and then he quit, and I continued swimming, and then we both started coaching, and we rekindled our friendship, which became a romance, and it ended. Nothing happened, but he was still sad.
Oh. Tragic.
For him.
Oh. She's ruthless. So, Friday. Friday's Valentine's
yeah.
Day. Friday?
When?
Friday. Guys, if you didn't know, Friday is Valentine's Day. So, we already said what we were doing for Valentine's Day, but, like, thoughts on it in general.
Just, like, as a holiday?
Yeah, I mean, because, like, I try to act really, like, I do not care, but I'm a hopeless romantic, so I just think something about it is romantic, but for the most part, I think it's just, like, a holiday created by Hallmark to sell you cards and stuffed toys. And I'm like, you don't need a day to appreciate the one you love. I'm like, if Valentine's Day rolling around is going to give you that extra push to appreciate them, I love that. I love seeing that. But also, you don't need a specific day for it.
I think Valentine's Day is really, really fun when you get to be included. You know, you have a partner and you get to do the coupley things like going on a date or, you know, doing that kind of stuff. But it's not as fun
or like,
for people who are alone.
What about receiving gifts? What about receiving gifts?
I don't think it's necessary at all.
I made you cookies last year.
And I greatly appreciate that. I would take cookies any day. But I don't think...
Guess what? You don't get cookies this Valentine's. You're no longer my Valentine.
Well, that took a turn.
Jolene's gonna get you a cookie.
So I'll be extra alone this year. Wonderful.
I take it back. I'm so sorry. You get a cookie.
Thank you. You mean the world to me.
I definitely think it makes a difference, though. Like, when you have someone to spend Valentine's Day with. Like, I have never been in a relationship on Valentine's Day. Well, I mean, I've just never been in a relationship. But, like, so to me, Valentine's Day is just, it's a day that happens, it's a day that I get with my girlfriends, and we kind of make a joke out of it. I had a friend once who bought me that, I think it's called The Perfect Man. It's like a chocolate thing. We were having a good old laugh about it. So yeah, Valentine's Day has just always kind of been like that. It really hasn't been anything. And I think if I were in a committed relationship, I think maybe it would mean something different to me. That maybe I would, like it to be like a little bit more romantic. Because, like you, I am also a hopeless romantic.
But yeah, being in a relationship definitely makes a difference. And I had 2 Valentine's Days where I was in a relationship. And they were wonderful. We stayed in and cooked each other dinner. It was wonderful. Oh. And this Valentine's Day is a little bit different.
That's okay. That's okay. We got you.
Oh,
we can spend Valentine's Day together.
I'll get a cookie.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So if you guys are going out this Valentine's Day, are there any things that you're making sure you're doing to stay safe?
Well, let's look at some tips I found on the internet.
Oh.
Alright, keep your loved ones in the loop. Always let somebody know where you're gonna be and, like, what your time frame is, what you're expecting. Every time that I've gone out, I live at home, so I've always told my mom, like, hey, I'm gonna be at Coffee Cultures, don't expect me back for however many hours or how much time I think I'm gonna be there. But, like, just let somebody know, if you say, like, oh, yeah, I'm only going out for about 2 hours or so, and then, 48 hours later, you're still not home. They have justification to call the cops. Because, you gotta be safe out there. There are some real weirdos in the world.
They spit in your mouth. Speaking of... Just kidding. There's nowhere you can segue from that. Basically, provide your own transportation.
Homeboy who spit in my mouth, he picked me up, so...
That's why.
That is yeah.
If someone wants to spit in your mouth, but they're your transportation, you got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
They just gotta spit in your mouth.
And you don't want that.
You don't want
Learn
that.
from my mistakes.
Drive your own car there. You can come and go at your own accord. And, it's just a way to make sure that you're going to get home safe.
Meet in a safe public space. A coffee shop is the perfect place, but there's...
What kind of coffee shop?
Coffee Culture, obviously. That's the place to be.
Wow.
No, but it is a good idea. No matter how fun Netflix and chill sounds, or that cute, like, let's make each other dinner thing. Maybe don't start with that.
Yeah.
Don't invite somebody over to your place of residence, and don't just go over to some random location. You don't know them.
Get to know someone a little first. Make sure you can trust them.
Yeah.
That being said, if you are out, if you feel uncomfortable, then leave. There is absolutely no reason why you should force yourself to be in a situation that you don't want to be in. And, you know, you gotta trust your gut and know when it's the time to walk out.
Also, don't leave your food or your drinks unattended. Unfortunately, a very basic rule for dating and just going out in general. But don't leave your food or drink unattended.
Don't, like, accept a drink from, well, the stranger that you're meeting. Unless you have, like, you know, you open it yourself or you actually watch the bartender or barista make it.
Yeah. But also, on that note, limit your alcohol consumption if you are at a bar. Because, you know, that can be dangerous for you. And also, you don't want your prospective suitor to see you that messy that soon. Go on a group date. If maybe you're like a little bit uncomfy just to be like one-on-one, maybe going in a group will be better.
That being said, I mean, maybe like the whole idea of a group date is just a little off to you. There are some lovely disguises that your friends can wear and hide in a booth on the other side of the restaurant. You know, keep an eye out on you.
I have not employed this tactic yet, but I'm thinking it might be good to prepare.
I would love to.
I so badly want to.
Perfect. We will arrange it for my next date.
Carry some protection.
Condoms?
We're not just talking condoms here. Although definitely bring that if you think that's a possibility for yourself.
Check.
No, bring, you know, we're talking like pepper spray. Although pepper spray is not exactly legal in this province or in this country, so you can't exactly bring that. I mean, maybe if you go on a date down south.
Down south?
That sounds like a very expensive date.
Well, maybe you're traveling. But, you know, there's other things you can do. Carry your car keys, because you're providing your own transportation. In between your fingers. You know, a little Wolverine action.
What else can you do?
Don't lie. Don't lie about yourself in any way, shape, or form.
But if you want to check if someone is lying, Google them. Look that bitch up on the 411.
Oh my god!
Find their socials. If they don't have any socials,
Don't go out with them.
yeah, it might be a little bit of a red flag.
You know, a little bit of social stalking is acceptable. You gotta know who you're getting involved with.
But don't let them know that you know every family member on their mother's side.
But maybe if you find out that they have a criminal record, depending on what it's for, maybe consider backing on out early.
Yeah, a couple traffic violations, no biggie. But if homicide is on the list, maybe excuse yourself early.
Yeah, maybe avoid the situation. If they have a warrant out for their arrest,
Turn them in. Maybe you'll get some cash.
Crime Stoppers, give them a call.
Oh, yeah.
Tinder says to never send money or share financial information.
That's a given.
Yeah, again, protect that personal information. Don't send anything out there that is personal.
Stay on the platform. A lot of people that, you know, are on there for nefarious reasons will try to move the conversation off of Tinder very, very quickly, straight onto other social media or to phone calls or direct texts.
This isn't something Tinder says, but sometimes I don't know if it's the best idea to link your socials to your Tinder account.
I feel personally attacked right now.
I am personally attacking you. Take your Snapchat off your Tinder.
Yeah, Snapchat is definitely one I don't know that you want to be including on there. Just given that there's, you know, you've got geotags and your location services on. I mean, if you turn that off, then that's probably better. Instagram is like a little iffy. I wouldn't attach it to my account, but it's also not private because I don't really have any like information about where I live. I mean, the school that I attend is on there, but really anybody could figure that out.
Report all suspicious and offensive behavior. It's really easy to just click that flag report button, and it even gives you on Tinder a list of reasons for reporting someone.
It's very thorough.
It is. I've never reported someone, so I don't know the whole process, but there's a comprehensive list of behaviors that are not tolerated by Tinder.
If something is going on the app that you feel that you need to get the police involved in, remember to take screenshots. Screenshot those conversations. Get the receipts.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, like, you know, you will just block the account and you'll lose that, or they will delete the account and then you'll lose that and you won't have anything to give in.
Also, be wary of long distance and overseas relationships. Are you wanting to be involved with a man who lives in Texas? I think not.
Well, maybe. If that's what you're into.
Maybe go to Texas.
I think not.
But definitely, you know, there are catfishers, scammers on sites like this that are trying to reel you in, and they'll be asking you to, like, send them, you know, financial aid, like, oh, they're from your country, but they're stuck in this other country and they can't get home. That's a major red flag there.
If you're worried that someone is catfishing you, Google's reverse image search can be a really good tool. You can find out who people really are sometimes by putting their image in there and finding their real social media. My favorite thing, though, was I once found someone who used a picture of Darren Criss, but said their name was like Paul or something. So it was very obviously not.
Paul, I loved you on Glee.
I considered matching and messaging him just to say something like that, but I decided against it. Didn't want to get his hopes up.
Aw.
Again, protect your account. You know, you don't want somebody to end up hacking you and using your account to put yourself out there to all kinds of things that you don't want to be involved in. Don't make a super easy password. That's usually the biggest one. That's where the cheap hackers are going to go. I mean, the extensive hackers, like, they're just going to get you no matter what, but I don't think they're interested in Tinder accounts. Yeah, another thing that was on Tinder on their safety tips was just a message about LGBTQ plus friendly travel. As you know, some people know, Tinder goes based off of who's close to you. Yeah, the more you see people, the more you like them. That only works, though, if your initial reaction to them was, like, neutral or positive. If it was negative, then the more you see them, the more you're gonna hate them.
Wow. Okay.
So it works both ways.
It does work both ways. It's based off your initial reaction.
Interesting.
But obviously there are still many countries in the world that are not supportive of the LGBTQ plus community. And in some of these countries, that is considered an illegal behavior. And so if you are out traveling and you're in one of those countries, maybe consider not hooking up with people on Tinder. You don't know really what could be out in store for you.
Just be safe.
There are many websites you can go to if you want to know if the country you're traveling in has LGBTQ friendly laws.
So Valentine's Day is seeing a lot of action this year.
Unlike us.
Some of us, anyway.
All right, speak for yourself.
Tragic.
I am.
Tragic for you too.
On Friday, there will be free hot cocoa provided by Wusk and the Women's Collective outside the IPC, cupcake decorating and origami roses in Harvest Hall, lots of heart-healthy events happening at the HLC, and Forbidden Flavors is making cheesecake.
Yeah!
Ooh, yum.
It's white chocolate raspberry and turtles cheesecake. You can get one for your Galentine, for your Valentine.
Your Palentine.
Yeah, all of the times. But anyway, the Women's Collective is also hosting an erotic bingo night on Thursday.
Sign me up.
Oh my god. more info for that at BU Women's Collective. Further, it's also Black History Month, and Busu will be hosting a trivia booth every Thursday. And it's also Indigenous Awareness Week, with many events scheduled every day, including a music festival, round dance, teachings, and presentations. You can find more info for those things at Busu37 and at BU_IPC.
So thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode and our very special guest star, Savannah.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on.
If you guys have any ideas for future episodes or anything you'd like us to talk about or help you with, be sure to contact us by email, weekqueens.bu@gmail.com, or on social media at weekqueensbu. We will also not be having an episode next week during reading week, but we will be back the following week. And we hope you guys have a great week and a very happy Valentine's Day.
And also, if you guys are single, hit my girls up. They would love to go on a date with you.
Like I said, I'm not opposed to meeting people. I'm just not putting myself out there to do it.
She's so tragically single. She's beautiful. She's smart. Savannah's here. She's gorgeous. She's funny. They'll both give you the time of your life. They will make your heart sing.
Oh my god!
Don't make any promises
Dad,
we can't keep.
Don't set their expectations too high.
Yes.
That's just what it's like to know them. They're angels.
You're too kind.
I know. Thank you.
Right, well, enjoy your week, guys.
Parting is such sweet sorrow. Fair Wheatons. And we wish you all a happy Valentine's Day.
Get out.
Indeed!
Thank you.